Hello YouTube fans, here again. And I just thought I'd let you know some of the things I was doing last night. Went to a bar last night where we had a bit of dancing, some beautiful girls dancing. It was a good night and I enjoyed it. But that's not why I'm speaking. As you know, I want to talk about some of the films I like, well underestimated, and some of my favourite adventure films. That being one of them, being Dreamscape. I remember doing Dreamscape before, but it's when I was first starting out, and when I was first starting out, as you know, I didn't talk a lot. I wasn't as confident, but you know what I mean, I felt a bit funny talking in front of a camera. Am I talking to myself? No, I'm not, because I'm going to wear this for everybody. And so on. So I didn't really do a good job of Teams Day. All I did at the time was have a camera, film it next to my monitor of my computer, and waffled on about Teams Day. And I think I could do a really good job now. I always do. Sometimes I do go back with some of my films, what I review. Sometimes I do it. So I'm going to do a review on Dreamscape from 1984. Now, I do know one of my favourite people who I sub to and watch a lot, do watch the Daily Lids there, that being Rambo for Life, didn't like the film. Didn't like the film, but you know, I'm not going to insult him. This is how I aired my videos. I watch Rambo for Life. I watch those CP communications, and I still watch them today. Lids there, you know, when I get chance and I'm not knackered, I watch some of those other stuff on YouTube. So, I mean, in one way, somebody doesn't like something, somebody likes something else. I'm not one who's going to bitch and moan. To me, that's what makes the world an interesting place. It makes the world an interesting place. So it's fair enough. I can kind of see what he means, though, Rambo for Life, when he said they should have done more on the dream world instead of just making it being Secret Service and espionage and all this James Bond bullshittery. So I can understand what he means by that, because I did watch his rant. But this other hand, I do like the film. I like it a lot. And again, I'll say it again, Dreamscape from 1984, and I'll get to the freaking point. It's got my mate Jeffin Chade, one of my favourite actors, and this was like 1 year after he did this massive film, Jaws 3, or Jaws 3D, whatever you want to call it. And this was like 1 year after, I mean, he was making it big then. And I love Dreamscape. I mean, you got one dad called Lancey, I can't remember his frigging name, a very hard name to me now, no longer with us. You might remember him. Dan Stefito, that's it, Dan Stefito. I can't remember his name out and rubbish, let me know for 18 days. But Dan Stefito, who's sadly no longer with us. You may remember him being the villain in Fast Boom Boom, we come from the universe. You might remember him in that as the villain. And you might remember him, definitely remember him as the Beast in the original The Exorcist, as well as him making a small disappearance in Exorcist 2, the edited. So he's been in a lot. I mean, he's been in a lot of movies, Stancy Vito, and he's done this, which is like Professor. I know it's about this guy, and basically the lone sharks are after him because he owes a lot of money, right? But he has a gift, and his gift is he can get into people's dreams. Now, when this came out in 1984, there was I think, I remember right there, West Chafin got in a lot of trouble. We all know the same name, and this come out, A Nightmare on Elm Street come out. So it was sort of like, the company that Dreamscape really wanted West Chafin's butt, because they felt this is copyright. But when you watch Nightmare on Elm Street and you watch Dreamscape, local different films. Okay, you've got Freddy Krueger invading people's dreams and killing them in a creative death way. In this, you've got someone that can get into dreams, but it's totally different film, a Joker different film. So this company finds Kevin Chade to say, right, we'll sort your debts out, we'll sort this out, we'll sort that out, but we want you. We want you. Basically, he can get into people's dreams. He helps this lad who has horrible nightmares of this monster that's trying to attack him. Brilliant. And I mean, this film has so much going for it. Has so much imagination. And it has a lot of imagination. The bit where he's fighting a monster, has a good bit of stop motion in it, has practical. Like I say, I'm a sucker for stop motion anyway. I'm a sucker for it. Shoot me. So I love it for that. I love it. You got one girl in it, if you think you've seen it before, very pretty lady at the hair, else do is pretty. Think of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, the one that played the spoiled access, who there's a love interest that almost at the end and also at the middle of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. The one that says, I can't remember the words now, anything goes. So she's in the film, very pretty, and There was apparently a lot of nudity in this film when it aired. I remember having a version on video, right? And there was a lot of nudity. Sad to say, the version I've got now, some of the nudity bits and some of the bonking was cut down. But I will give it its due. I'll give it its due. Some of the violence has been re-put back into it. There's a scene where one of the villains rips a guy's heart out, what was cut out the video version. There's a bit where he uses nunchuckers, as we all know, in the 80s and so on, even in the late 90s. Censorship, for some reason, thought kids were going to twat people with nunchuckers, so I chose that scene was cut. Happy to say, it's back in the film. So, I'm happy about that because it's a beautiful transfer. But they've got another company anyway that wants to use this to kill the president. So they've got this main bad guy. I think you've seen him before. He's been in a lot of films. You might remember him in Commando, the bit where Arnie says, "I lied," and lets him go. He's in this. You got the idea he's a Bruce Lee fan, which does Sultan Untucker scene. And he's the main villain. He kills this poor woman just to see if it works. Makes it look like an accident. But Devin Jade knows there's something about him. He knows that there's something bad about him. And he knows that the president is having these horrible nightmares, to do the nuclear bomb and all that. And I mean, this film does have a lot of imagination. You've got to see it to believe it. There's one guy scared of heights, and he's falling, and Devin Jade jumps out, and you see him fall. Everyone's nightmare. I mean, there's a lot of good imagination in this film. There's a lot of imagination. The bits when in the dream, it does have a lot of imagination. You've got zombies, you've got mad dogs with red laser eyes. You've got it all. So he goes after the villain anyway. Goes into Dreamland because they know they're going to assassinate the president. Outsmarts the bad guy. They realise the bad guy killed his dad. Stabs him. I do love the bit where they're on the train. You've got these zombies chasing Devin Jade. You've got a bit where he's finding the nunchuckers. And then he outsmarts him. He starts to save the president all the way through the film. He's trying to save the president. He pretends to be a monster, Devin Jade. Stabs the bad guy. Rightly kills him. Saves the president. But then our other main villain, the guy you love to hate, who actually kills Devin DeVito, which is very sad. Knowing he's no longer with us. We lost a damn good actor there. He gets his revenge, gets him into a nightmare, rips his face off. A little bit of shit effect there. That just, a bit of a typical jump scare. It never rubbed off. I mean, I saw it coming a mile away. You knew it was going to be a frigging nightmare. But he kills the main bad there, goes on the train, got the idea, has it away with his woman, from the Temple of Doom. End of movie. And a happy ending, which I don't like. I like that as a happy ending. I'm a sucker for happy endings. Like nowadays, with downbeat endings for films, this has a happy ending, and I like it. You get a lot of well-known actors in it. You get one who's one of the lone stars, and you think you've seen him before. He was the one that played the psychopath, if you remember right there. Savage Raids, the one with Chuck Norris. He's in this. Savage Raids. He's in this, and there's a lot of other great actors in it. I mean, I think it's got a lot of going for it. It's got a lot of good special effects, a lot of imagination. I can kind of see why Rambo for Life isn't his cup of tea, because there's a bit of Secret Service, a bit of espionage. Them bits, you can take it or leave it. I just want to see the bits where he's in the Dreamland, he's trying to save the president, he's in Daydreamland. And some of the imagination, them bits were really good, and I like them bits. So that's Dreamscape from 1984. It's a dud, and you've never seen it. Check it out. This is the days when films, and like nowadays, had imagination. But into them, be smart, be safe, and I'll see you later.